Namaste, dear students. First of all, I want to welcome you to our English virtual class of grade 5. Dear students, I hope you have been enjoying our virtual class, haven't you? Very good. Today also, we are going to learn something new. I will tell you later. So before we start our class, you have to take out your English textbook, an exercise book, and a pen or a pencil. Please take them out as usual. Have you taken out? Very good. So today we are going to learn something new that is given in Unit 7 of our English textbook. So all of you, please turn to the pages of Unit 7. Have you turned? Fine. Now I am going to show you the slide. You just watch it. You just have a look and then try to find out what we are going to learn today in our Unit 7. Is that okay? All right. Now let's have a look. So what do you see there? All of you please read it out. What's written here? Look at the picture. See, you can see the picture. So I want to ask you a few questions and you just try to guess the answers, okay? Don't worry, my students. If you make mistakes, no problem. I am here to help you. You have to listen to me very carefully and you have to watch me very carefully. Okay? Well, now the first question for you is, see, what's written there? Please read it out. Yes, it is, what do you see in the picture? See, this is the picture. So what do you see there? Can you tell me? Please try to tell me. Yes, in the picture, there are 3 persons. How many women are there? Or how many ladies are there? Yes, there is only one lady. Okay? And how many men are there? Very good. There are 2 men. See, 1, 2. All total, there are 3 persons. Okay? And you know, there are chairs, desk. Okay? No, it's fine. Now, I want to ask you the next question. And the question is, see, what is it? Please read it out. Yes, it's what are they doing? Can you guess what are they doing? Oh, it looks like they are talking. Okay, 2 persons are sitting this side and 1 lady is sitting here and it looks like they are talking. Okay, so can you guess the topic or can you guess the subject, what they are talking about? Well, don't worry, it's just our guess. Okay, so one more question I want to ask you. So please be ready to answer me. What's the question? Please read it out. Fine. The question is, who has a happy family? See, there are 3 persons and you have to guess who has a happy family, whether this lady or this man or this man. Okay? So this is just our guess. Now from here, I hope you might have made a guess what we are going to learn today. So what's your guess? Please tell me. Now you can check whether your guess is right or not. And we are going to learn about an interview. So do you know the meaning of interview? Don't worry, later on you will know and I will tell you what interview is. Okay? So see, here there are 3 persons and this lady is taking an interview and these 2 men are, let's say, telling something. Okay? So what they are talking about, we will know. And that is what we are going to learn. And through that interview, we are going to learn something new. That is what you have to find in our today's class. Is it clear to you? Very good. Then I want to show you the interview, okay, what that is about. Now, do you know the meaning of the word interview? So, looking at these things, you have to find out the meaning of interview. So, what is the meaning of interview? Please tell me. Well, now you can see whether you are right or wrong. See, interview means simply meeting or discussion, okay? So here also you can see there are three persons, okay? And Lakshmi is asking questions about their children and about the amount, or you can say percentage they spend on food and clothes. These things they are talking, okay? So it's like a discussion. It's like a meeting. Meeting means we sit together and have a discussion. So interview means simply you can understand as meeting or discussion, okay? Another, see, spend. What do you mean by spend here? For example, Prem says, I spend about 25% of my income, okay? Likewise, Puna says, I spend about 80%. So what is the meaning of the word spend? Yes, it is payout. For example, if you buy something, at that time you have to pay money, For example, if you want to buy a pencil or an eraser or an exercise book, you have to pay that money. So when you pay that money to buy such things, that is what you can say spend. You spend your money to buy a pencil, an exercise book or an eraser, okay? So the meaning of spend is payout. Very good. Now another meaning you have to tell me is income. See, Prem says I spend about 25% of my income, okay? Likewise, Purna also says I spend about 80% of my income. So what do you mean by income? Yes, it means an individual or business receives. It means, for example, if your parents work at an office, okay, at that time, at the end of the month, they will get some money. That is what we call income. Or if they sell anything, For example, if we have a business and if we sell the things and if we get that money, that can be also taken as income. Okay, so the money that we get, the money that we receive. Is that clear, dear students? Well, now I want to show you another slide again. This is the continuing part of this interview. Now, again Lakshmi asks, see, 25%, Prem spends 25% of his total income on food and clothes, and let's say Purna spends how much? Yes, Purna spends 80%. And again, Lakshmi is asking another question. So what is the question? Now read it. See, Lakshmi asks again, how much do you spend for education and health care? Again, she asks the question for education and health care. Okay. Now, Prem says, I spend about 20% of my total income on each of them. Okay. So, how much? It is 20%. Okay. 25% on food and clothes, then 20% on, let's say, education and health care. Can you guess how much Purna spends? Now see. Purna says, I have very little money left for them. I spend 10% each on education and health. See, Purna has a big family. That's why he spends 80% of his income on food and clothes. Because of this reason, he has a little money left. Okay, that's why he spends only 10% on education and 10% on healthcare. But Prem can spend 20% on education and 20% on healthcare. Okay, so It is because of their small and big family. Again, Lakshmi asks the question, how do you spend your savings? See, do you know the meaning of savings? For example, if I earn 1000 rupees and if I spend 900 rupees and if 100 rupees is left with me, that 100 rupees is my saving. Okay? So, Lakshmi asks this question to them. How do you spend your savings? Now, what do you think? What do you guess? What Prem will say and what Puna will say? So, let's check. See, Prem says, well, I spend my savings on social service. So, how much he can save? Can you tell me? See, 25% on food and clothes, 20% on education, 20% on healthcare equals to how much? 25 plus 20, 45 plus 20 equals to 65. So it means how much he can save? He can save. See, percentage is always in 100. So you have to minus, let's say 65 from 100. So how much is left? Yes, that is 35%. Okay. Prem says, well, I spend my savings on social service. See, he can save 35% of his income and he spends that saving on social work. And what do you guess? Can Purna also spend his money on social work? Let's see what he says. Madam, I do not have any savings, so I do not have to worry about that. Even then, I am also interested in social works. Purna says that he does not have any saving because, see, he has to spend 80% of his income on food and clothes, then 10% on education and 10% on health care. That's why he does not have any saving because he spends his all income, all right? That's why he cannot spend his money on social service. But he is very interested in social work. Okay? This is the discussion they have done. Now again, word meaning. Can you tell me the meaning of the word social service? So what do you mean by social service? Yes, it means activity aiming to promote the welfare of others. Okay? See, it means, for example, in our society, there are many people who are in trouble. And if we put our money, if we spend our money for their goodness, okay, to uplift them, for their welfare, that is what we call social service. And another meaning, see, worry. What do you mean by worry? Worry means trouble, okay. So, Purna says that he should not worry, he should not trouble about that one because he cannot save money. This is the discussion. Now, dear students, after this, you have to understand why I, let's say, highlighted these words. How many children? So, why do I highlight these words? How many? So, can you tell me? Yes. When we want to know quantity, see, for example, we are describing quantities. Do you know the meaning of quantities? For example, if I ask, Lakshmi is asking there, how many children? And Prem says that 2 children. See, 2 is a quantity, okay? And out of 2 children, 1 is daughter and another is a son, okay? Likewise, Purna says he has 6 children. This is a quantity. So it means if we want to ask about quantity, then you can use the terms or you can use the phrase that is how many. But you have to be very careful that we have to use how many for that quantity which we can count. Okay? For example, can we count children? Can we count the children? Yes, we can count. I have 1 child, 2 children, 3 children, 4 children. That is how we can count. Suppose I can ask you, how many pencils do you have? See, because we can count the pencils, okay? We can say 1 pencil, 2 pencils, 3 pencils, 4 pencils. That's how we can count. So if we want to know the quantity that we can count, for that we have to use the phrase, or you can say the terms how many. Alright, is it clear? So another important thing, see now here is how much. In which condition we have to use how much? Can you tell me now? Good. See, how much we use for the quantity, okay? How many is also used for the quantity. How much is also used for the quantity. How many is used for countable quantity, okay? And how much is used for uncountable quantity. We cannot count. For example, if I ask you how much flour do you need, okay? Dust particle. How much rice I can ask. How much, let's say, sugar, okay? We cannot count. So if we cannot count the quantity, and if we want to know about that quantity, at that time we use how much. That's why here is written, I spend about 25%, okay? 25%. And here is 80%. So you shouldn't forget to use these terms, how many and how much. How many also used for quantity, how much is also used for quantity. But the difference is that how many is used for countable quantity that we can count, okay, and how much is used for that quantity which we cannot count. Is it clear to you? So, and you can tell about the quantity. For example, Prem says 2, or means 1 here, okay? That's why I have highlighted. Or means 1 daughter. Or son means 1 son, okay? See, here Puna says 6 children. And out of 6 children, 5 are daughters and 1 is son. Okay? So, in case of this how many, we can count the children here. And in case of this how much, we cannot count. That's why here is given 25%. So, you shouldn't forget. So, here also, in the next slide also, you can see the same thing. See, how much again? How much do you spend? 20%. Okay? And Prem says 20%, Purna says very little. Okay? Very little means how much? Can we count? Is that 3 or 4 or 5? So that is uncountable. Alright? So you should not be confused. So you have to be clear to use how much and how many. Is that clear, dear students? So after this one, I just like to make you do some exercises. So first of all, we are going to do match the words with their meanings, because we have learned the interview, okay, and there are some words. I have given you the meanings of some unfamiliar words, and now we are going to do an exercise that is match the following words with their meanings, and this is given in our textbook. So for it, be ready. All of you turn to the pages of your exercise book and be ready to do. And the exercise for you is, let's see, say income. You have to match the meaning of this word income here. For example, income means you have to find out, is it activities that you enjoy doing, or in 100, or money you get from work or business, or teaching and learning, or pay money for things. Which one is the correct? You have to do. Please start doing now. Likewise, entertainment. Entertainment means activities that you enjoy doing, or in 100, or money you get from work or business. That is what you have to find out. Similarly, percent, okay, P-E-R-C-E-N-T, percent. Likewise, we have another word is spend, S-P-E-N-D, spend. Another word we have is education. So it's your task. Please do now. Are you writing? Very good. Now, if so, you can check. See, what is the correct meaning of the word income? Yes, it means money you get from work or business. See, when I explained you the interview, at that time also I told you the meaning of income. Suppose if we go to office or if we do any business and if we get money, that is what we call income. So income means money you get from work or business. Alright. Likewise, what is the correct meaning of the word entertainment? entertainment, entertainment. Okay. So which one? Have you finished? Good. Now you can check the meaning with me. And its correct meaning is, yes, activities that you enjoy doing. So any activity that you do to enjoy, that is what entertainment. For example, if you watch a movie or if you go for hiking, what type of, for example, if you play a game, so we get entertainment. So any type of activity that we do to enjoy, okay, that is what entertainment. Likewise, dear students, what is the meaning of the word percent? P-E-R-C-E-N-T, percent. So please tell me a bit loudly, please. Yes, now its meaning is, see, percent in 100, okay. Always we calculate percentage in 100. In our interview also, you know that Prem spends, let's say, 25% on food and, let's say, food and clothes, and then 20% on education and 20% on healthcare. So 65% in total and 35% saving, okay. Likewise, Puna spends 80% on food and clothes, then 10% on education and 10% on healthcare. So we calculate in 100, always percentage, okay. That's why its correct is in 100. All right, is that correct? If you have made a mistake, please correct it. Well, now another word we have is spend. You know clearly the meaning of spend. So what is the correct meaning? Now check. It is, yes, pay money for things. I have already explained you. If you go to a shop and if you want to buy a pencil or an eraser or anything else, and if you give them money to get those things, at that time you spend your money. You cannot keep that money with you. You have to give it to other persons, okay? That's why that is what we call spend. So spend means pay money for things. Another word, the last word of this exercise is education, education. So it is very clear, we don't have other options, and it means obviously teaching and learning. See, you are getting education. I am teaching you from here and you are getting, okay. It means we are engaging or involving in teaching and learning. This is the meaning of education. So if you have any mistake, please correct them. Have you corrected? Well done. Now I want to give you another exercise, and this exercise is, now you also read, please. Read and fill in the table how much of their total income do they spend on the following. See, once again, it's a long instruction. Once again, I like to read it. You also read with me. Read and fill in the table. Read means again same interview, okay. How much of their total income do they spend on the following? Now, you have to find out. See, there are two persons. Actually, there are three persons in the interview, but Lakshmi ask and two men answer, okay. So they are Prem and Puna. Now you have to find out how much money or how much income Prem spends on food and clothes, how much he spends on education, how much he spends on health. You have to find out. Likewise, Purna, how much he spends on food and clothes, how much he spends on education, how much he spends on health. You have to find out. Okay, let's start doing. Are you doing? Very good. I hope you might have finished it because it's very simple. Now you can check with me whether you have written correctly or not. So once again, you have a chance to tell me how much of his income he spends on food and clothes. Prem spends? Yes, that is 25%. Okay, he clearly says that he spends 25% on food and clothes because he have only two children, one daughter and one son. Okay, and education, how much of his income? Yes, that is 20%. Okay, 20%. So if you add these two, then how much percent? Say it is 25 plus 20 equals to 45%. Okay, now again it's clearly said in the interview by Prem that how much he spends on health. Yes, that is again 20%. So total 25 plus 20 equals to 45 plus 20 equals to 65. So percentage is always in 100. So if we minus 65 from 100, then how much saving does he have? He has 35% saving. Okay, 65 plus 35 equals to 100. Okay, now like this you have to find out the Puna's expenses, how much he spends on food and clothes, how much he spends on education, how much he spends on health. I hope you might have already filled the table. Now you check with me. See, he spends 80% on food and clothes. He says that he has 6 children. That's why he have to spend his much income on food and clothes. Okay, that is 80%. All right. So if you have made a mistake, please correct it. And if you have done correctly, very good. Now, likewise, can you find out that he spends on education? That is, let's say, 10%. Okay, 10%. He clearly says in his interview that he spends 10% on education. Likewise, can you tell me how much he spends on health? Yes, that is 10%. So 80%, 80 plus 10 equals to 90 plus 10 equals to 100. 100%. Okay, it means how much money he receives, how much money he has the income, he spends all. Okay, he does not have any saving. But Prem has 35% of his income is saving. Is it clear to you? Very good. Now one more exercise I want to give you. So be ready again. The exercise for you is answer in short. There are questions and you have to write their answers in short. Okay. The question for you are, question number 1. On what do they spend about the same percentage of their income? So Prem also spends the same percentage on what? Okay, and Puna also spends the same percentage on what? You have to find out because it's clearly given in the interview. I have already explained you. Please, you can start writing. Another question, number 2. How much does Prem spend on education and health care? Now you have to find only Prem's, okay, not Purna's. How much Prem spends on education and health care? You have already filled in the table also. It's very easy, very simple for you. Now question number 3. Question number 3 is, how much does Prem save every month? Now you have to find out only Prem's saving, okay? How much he saves every month. I have already told you. Do you know it or not? You have to find it out. Another question we have is, does Purna save any money? So you have to find out whether Purna has also saving or not. It's very clear. And when we have filled up, when we fill the table also, then we know about this one, because the data clearly show us. Okay. Now another question we have is number 5. How does Prem spend his saving? So on what Prem spends his saving? You have to find out that one. So please, students, you have to write them and then you have to check with me. So please start writing. And here you should not write a complete sentence, okay? You can write only the main words, only the key words for our answer. Are you doing? Very good. Now you can check with me, okay? So the first one. So still you can tell me what is the correct answer. Once again, the question is, on what do they spend about the same percentage of their income? And it is, let's say, on education and health. So how can you tell me? See, Prem spends 20% of his income on education and 20% of his income on health. Okay. Likewise, Purna spends 10% on education and another 10% on health. That is why they spend about the same percentage. Same percentage means by Prem 20% and by Purna 10%. Okay. So you have to write down on education and health. But later, if you like to write down full sentence, then you can write down like this. They spend, let's say, about the same percentage of their income on education and health. This is how you have to write down, but here you can write down in short. Likewise, number 2. How much does Prem spend on education and health care? Now your answer should be only Prem, okay, 20%. Okay, he says that he spends 25% on food and clothes, then 20% on education and 20% on health care. Okay. Now, how much does Prem save every month? I have already calculated. I think you have already noted down in your exercise book. And that is, yes, 35%. Do you know how? See, I have already told you. 25% on food and clothes, 20% on education means 45%, and again 20% on health means 65%. So if you subtract 65% from 100, then he has 35% saving. Okay, so that is how you have to find out his saving. So his saving every month is 35%. And if you want to write it down in a complete sentence, then you can write down Prem saves 35% every month. That's how you have to do. Another question, number 4. Does Purna save any money? I hope you might have already written down its answer. So what's your answer? Does he save or not? So check your answer. No, he does not save. Can you tell me why? See, he clearly says that he spends 80% on food and clothes, 10% on education, and 10% on healthcare. That's why 100%. It means all his income is spent. Okay? That's why he has no saving. That's why your answer should be no saving. And if you want to write in complete sentence, you can say, no, Purna does not save any money because he spends all his income on food and clothes, education, and healthcare. Now another question we have is, how does Prem spend his savings? You know, it's very clearly said, okay, that's doing social service. doing social work. Okay, that is what. And at the same time, you shouldn't forget that Puna also says that he does not have any saving, but he is interested in social work. All right. So here percent, how much, how many are used to express quantity, to describe quantity. Okay. Now after it, dear students, I just like to give you a home assignment. Before that one, I just like to familiarize with the words that we use for measurements. Okay. See, you have to write the words EMERT, meter. See, meter. Another one is liter, L-I-T-R-E. Another one is yard, Y-A-R-D, okay, just for you. Another is centimeters. Another we have kilometers. Then we have feet. Another inches, okay. Again we have milliliter, and we have grams. These words are also used for measurement to show the quantity. Okay. Now, home assignment for you. So can you guess what is the home assignment for you? See. Now your home assignment is write a conversation between two friends about the things and their quantities they have prepared for their picnic. It means, for example, they are going to a picnic and they need many things like rice, oil, salt, sugar, many things, milk. So you have to write in conversation the things and their quantities, how much they need, how much they have to take to their picnic. Okay, this is your home assignment. Dear students, I hope you enjoyed today's class. I also hope that you might have got a clear idea to describe quantities in our today's class. This much for today. Have a wonderful time. Goodbye.